Get that mic fixed, huh? Good afternoon, YTPC. This is Dave coming to you from Southern Maryland. It is 1:40 on Friday, January 5th. It is a flannel Freedom Friday. I've already filmed it. It's going to get appended. I am ready to go this Friday. No repeat of that crap last Friday. Oh, couldn't get it done. I couldn't get back over here. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah. We all turn into little infants now and then. Thank you, Greg. I think it was Greg asking how my tobacco stays so on fire after I take it off, and you wondered if I had gunpowder in there. I told him, no, I sprinkle a drop of racing fuel in there because I got plenty of it laying around. Jack, what am I smoking? The Maryland Meerschaum, as always. I got to clean it out right and maybe wax it because I'm not getting much color on top anymore. Remember, I want this up here. It's filled in pretty nicely down underneath, but it's taking a sweet time coming to the top. And I read several people said you need to wax your Meerschaum, and I didn't know that. So I'm going to look into it. Doug at Truck and Piper mentioned it, and a couple other people did too. So I'm going to look into that. What's in it today? I'm switched. I am back. I went to Burley Morning Pipe. One of my favorites. I've missed it this last month while I stayed on the Christmas blends. So good. I really enjoy it. So I guess I got to give you a health report. My son reports 100%. Yesterday was 85. Today says he's back, good to go. Thank God, because he flies like at 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. The wife is out of bed, showered, on the couch, had a light, easy lunch, and is actually at the horse farm with our daughter. So I think she's pushing herself a little bit, but Lauren flies out at 3 o'clock tomorrow. So this is it. So I don't think Emery wanted to miss that last time at the horse farm because I haven't taken you to our horse farm yet, but I will. My daughter has a really unique bond with her horse, Cooper. He's a beast. I'll talk about him later. But anyway, so Amory feels well enough anyway to push herself to get out there. And then we have a family dinner tonight at that German restaurant, the Old Stein Inn. And Amory claims that she wants to come with us. So we'll see how that goes. So there's the family health report. I know it's a critical component of this channel lately. I've done no work in the paddock. There won't be any work in here today or tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a double airport run. Dulles Airport is where my son flies out of, and it's about an hour each way. And then my daughter flies out of National, and it's about 45 minutes each way. One at 8, one at 3. Tomorrow will be airport day. Also, we have that big, scary storm coming in. Everything's a killer storm. If you noticed that lately, every weather report is a killer storm. I'm surprised they haven't named this thing yet. But anyway, it's supposed to get here tomorrow, right about noon. So Sean should get out from under it, and Lauren will fly right through the middle of it. Which is how they both came in, by the way. So they both came in under storms, and they'll fly out that way. I doubt it'll be a killer storm. We'll see. Maybe up in New England. God, I saw a New England weather report said somewhere between some places are going to get 10 inches and some places are going to get 100 inches. That's pretty crazy. And if you get 100 inches of snow, you can call that a killer storm. Since I seem to be doing a personal blog, I'll tell you about my morning. Spent a couple hours on the phone with my bank, Truist Bank. I've been a client there and their predecessor since '92. I have a fair amount of money in that bank. They closed my checking account to all incoming and outbound transactions because they thought there was some fraud on it. And they told everybody except guess who? Me. When we started getting failed payment notices, I called the bank and said, hey guys, what the hell's going on? They said, oh, we closed your account because there was some fraud in it. I'm like, I look at that thing every day. There's not one fraudulent transaction. Well, we just grew concerned. I said, well, were you going to tell me? And this is what they said. Hey, well, we mailed you a letter. I was like, you stopped all transactions on my account without telling me, and you U.S. mailed me a letter. Does that sound even remotely reasonable to you? And after escalating through several managers, I guess, we finally got the account turned back on. But wow, what an experience. This is a shout out to Jim. CJ's Garage, your package arrived. I'll do it right, but I'm not going to mix it in. So now I owe Mark an opening and a thank you, and I owe Jim a thank you and an opening. This place is becoming a thank you and opening channel. Guys, I want to thank you for the number of people from last video to this one. How many people have written me comments or texted me or emailed me? It's pretty crazy. It's one of the more active communities I've been a part of. So I just thank you. If you've emailed me your address or your phone number or both, I put them all in my database. They're all in my phone. So thank you very much. A couple of you wrote and said, well, I didn't feel like sending my address because I'm really not a player. I don't care. Send it to me anyway. If you sent me your phone number, then send me your address. If you sent me your address, maybe send me your phone number. Anyway, I've gotten a bunch. So if you sent them in, I'm not saying I didn't receive them. I'm saying if you chose not to, for some reason, like I'm not worthy, that's crap. Send it in anyway. Part of it will be a little continuity of ops, right? If something were to go wrong, if YouTube were to say, hey, the YTPC has to be shut down, a bunch of us should have databases of who's in it. And I'm sure the YTPC is way beyond what my sphere of influence is, but at least I'll be able to recreate. So far, I have maybe 100 of you. If we have to switch platforms, someone should be able to tell you. Well, guys, I get a lot of positive feedback on this channel on some of these weird topics that I bring up. So I have two for you today. The first came up in a conversation I had through the comments, but I want to bring it up here because I think it's more generically applicable. That is, I have found over the last couple of decades that the world is essentially a mirror. And if the world is feeding me shitty feedback, if it's feeding me meanness, if it's feeding me stupidity, if it's feeding me problems and errors and issues and anger, I have to stop and think about it, because that probably means that's what I'm projecting. And if I'm projecting loving and kindness and gentleness and understanding, intelligence, helpfulness, that's generally what the world reflects back to me. If you're out there seeking a relationship, either friendships or a personal relationship, we have to be careful about what we project into that search. It's very easy to project a sense of desperation or a sense of want. I want this so bad. I want. I'm desperate for a partner. I'm desperate for a friend. I'm so lonely. I'm pathetic. I'm undeserving. I'm not worthy. That's just kind of the path that that sentiment can go down. And if we project that out into the world, you're going to attract somebody as a friend or a partner, and it's not going to end well. But if we project quiet confidence and capability, and I want this, but I'm not desperate for it. I want a relationship, but not at all costs. I want somebody to bring something to the table. This is important to me, but it's not everything to me. If you can project that kind of confidence, I think we attract a much different person. Having trouble keeping my early morning lit. You need to think this thing on flamethrower, it wouldn't be a problem. That early morning pipe's been in that jar for a month, so clearly the jar is working. It's not dried out in the slightest. So the generic comment is be careful, be aware of what you're projecting out into the world. If you're mad because your bank did something stupid, are you projecting that into your search for a friend? It's a kick the dog syndrome. Who's the dog in this? You're frustrated at A, but you take it out on B. Or you get 5 pounds of frustration from the bank, but you put out 100 pounds of frustration out onto your wife or your kids. This is the pot calling the kettle black, by the way. I was a Zen master of bringing frustration from source A and kicking dog B. And I don't think I do that anymore. I mean, I'm sure I do occasionally, but I'm pretty generally aware of what I'm projecting. If I'm feeling energy, I'm going to do a much more energetic video like today. I'm feeling energy because UPS has lost a couple packages and the bank has just been pissing me off. So I'm feeling energy. So I'm going to do an energetic video, but that's because I know I'm feeling a different energy today. If I tried to do I'm so peaceful and quiet and loving, that would come across as fake and bullshitty, right? And I've done those videos, right? I've said those words into the camera, but not today. Today I'm fired up, and I'm carrying a different energy, but I'm not blasting it. I'm not frustrated over here and blasting everybody else in my life. So try to be aware of it. Try to be proactive. Try to, with malice of forethought, project into the world with malice, with intent. I intend to project confidence today. I intend to inject quietness and peace today. I'm not doing that today. I'm losing my kids tomorrow. Not a great sense, right? So for me to come out all bubbly and happy and go, I love the world, and I'm surrounded by nothing but heaven. Nah, not today. Maybe tomorrow, maybe to Sunday, but not today. So again, I'm just trying to show you examples of what I mean when I say be proactive about what you're projecting, and try to actually select it, right? Use your mood selector. Hey, I'm a little angry today, so I'm going to project some energy. Hey, I'm on a search, and I want to be careful what I project into that search. I'm going on a date. Be very careful, right? We love to put out false images for first impressions, and that's probably a mistake. If you're going to step up your game, but don't lie about it. If you're going to step up your game, step it up to somewhere you can kind of hold it. Hearing at the first sermon. All right, sermon part 2. I don't think it has anything to do with part 1. You have to decide if it does. Several of you have talked about needing to start over, start a business, earn more income. You want to grow your channels. I've heard all those, I think, in the last in this past year. So let's use growing your channel as an example. I mean, there are some classic ways to grow a YouTube channel. You may not like them, but they work. And so the thing that I would ask you, if you're trying to mentor and groom your channel to a bigger, maybe even a money situation at some point, or to at least become an influencer kind of thing, if you care about your subscriber count, if you care about your view times, if you care about your just the analytics they produce for you, if you care about monetization, you sort of have to play a game, right? And lots of times we're not good at that. We want our channel to be what I want it to be. Well, you got to make your channel what a larger audience wants. The Pike community is a pretty tiny fraction of the YouTube market. And so we probably have to go a little bit beyond that if we want a full channel. How do we speak to the camera? How do we talk to our audience? I've sent a couple comments to one of you, but my general feedback is that we generally have to portray a fairly gentle approach, especially if you're trying to draw a crowd under 60 or under 50. And one thing I was taught was always ask questions instead of make statements. And you come across as kinder when you do that. And that's a fairly common thing to hear, right? I mean, if you go out and get any sort of coaching or mentoring, people say, hey, learn to ask questions instead of drive the direction. You gently guide the direction by asking questions. And then we start a vid going, hey, I'm going to ask a question. Are you stupid? That's not asking a question. I mean, technically that's asking a question, but that's really kind of a poor implementation or execution of the idea. So we need to be careful of that. So if we're trying to grow our channels, I'm not particularly interested myself, but I hear a bunch of you say it. And I heard a bunch of you say you couldn't care less, by the way. So I want to acknowledge that. I don't need 50 of you to comment that, hey, I don't give a shit about my channel analytics. So, I mean, I get that. I mean, and I'm on your side of the choir book. But if you do care, and you do want to grow it, and you do really want a better account, you want be a bigger and better influencer, then we have to portray a message, and we have to portray it in a manner that is attractive to others. And being angry and judgmental and asking pointed and leading questions that really are almost offensive is not really the way to do it. Which really leads me to my last point, or what I should call sermon number 3. So part 3 is when things get tough or we want to fix something, whether it be a relationship or a friendship or a marriage or a relationship with our kids or our boss or our employees or our partners, our initial inclination is they need to change, right? This is their situation and it's yours. And that's, I told you, I went down this road a little bit when I told you my life story starting in 2011. But one thing I find very frustrating is in every situation in my life that I want to change, why am I the one that has to change? Well, it's a fact. If you want to change something, you're the one that has to change. You have to implement a change. Because guess what? You're the only person you can change. And that's another bullshitty bumper sticker, right? You're the only one who can change. If you want a better relationship with your wife, you're not going to influence her to be a better person and love you more. You have to change how you treat your wife. Stephen Covey, love is a verb. I love that concept. Love is a verb. You know, Hollywood teaches us that it's a feeling. Love is a verb. I mean, have you loved your wife today? Have you loved your son today? Have you loved your congregation today? Have you loved your company today? Have you loved your mail carrier today? You know, whatever it is, whatever you're trying to fix, have you loved that thing today? And you got to change it. Now, most likely, they will change with you. You know, if as you become more loving and caring and demonstrate, don't say you're trying to make a change. Like, God, don't go say, hey, I want to make this relationship better. Don't do that. Just start doing it. The less we talk about things and the more we do them, I think the more effective they are. I could go on and on. I could do this all day. So the 3 sermons were: be careful what you project and proactively decide what you're going to project into the world. In every situation, you have external contact. 2, if you're going to sell what someone's looking for, not what you think you want to sell. And 3, if you want to change something, you got to be the one who makes the change. Let me give you 2 examples of the businesses, people trying to sell things they wanted to sell that flopped horribly. Some of my, we have a close couple friend. He opened up a used historic bookstore, a little bookshop, beautiful little bookshop out in the middle of nowhere. Okay. And it failed completely. And he opened it because he loved old books. And so he translated that into, I'm going to open a bookstore. And the wife loved tea. So she opened up a tea room. And it didn't work either because it was out in the same middle of nowhere. Because she loves tea and tea rooms. You know, and they sold what they wanted to sell, not what the market they wanted to be in wanted. I just thought those are 2 concrete examples of what I'm trying to talk about. So be careful what you project and make sure you're projecting what you're choosing to. You know, be the one who wants to make the change and sell what the audience wants and not what you want to sell. Guys, that's it. We're going to move right on now. We reached the Freedom Friday section of the video, and then I'm just going to send you from there. So have a great Friday night. I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow because I'm doing airport runs and I have no idea, but I want to. Just know that if I don't know that I wanted to, I just couldn't do it because my wife will be with me and I ain't doing a video with the wife sitting there and she just hates that stuff. Guys, I love you. Thanks for all the interaction. Keep it up. Talk to you later. Hey guys, welcome to Freedom Flannel Freedom Friday. So for today, I've got for you a shotgun, and a lot of people haven't seen these. So what you're looking at is a Lander Arms, basically Bullpup 12 gauge. This is officially a BPX 902 Gen 3. Here, I'll just show you. There's Lander Arms. Can't see what I'm doing too well through here, but so anyway, it's not like a regular shotgun. You have to use mags. They go back here. It's got a charging handle. And then it's not an ambidextrous safe. It's left side only, which means it's kind of right hand configured. And I'm really more of a left hand shooter, but I know I can do both. It's got I've got the sights on here. So if we wanted to, I can really sight you in. I'm not sure how useful that is close quarters. Like, this is a short barreled shotgun, so I'm not really sure. If you're aiming this hard, you're probably using the wrong weapon. That's why I have a light on it. I consider this a close quarters weapon. It's short. It's a 33.5-inch weapon. It's got an 18.5-inch barrel, so it is truly in tight. I mean, my hand can go way out past it. So if I need to, I can sweep a room. I can sweep a corner very efficiently with this weapon. I don't really consider this a go-to-war battle weapon. This is a fairly cheap item. This is a $500 weapon. I just looked it up just before I turned the camera on. Like, I think I found one for $447, and I'm pretty sure that was a new price. So I bought this at a Virginia gun show. I walked in and said, holy smokes, that thing's beautiful. I want that. So I bought it. And the beautiful thing about Virginia is bought it, took it home. They had to do a quick ATF check. But so, I'll show you some of the accessories. All right, well, since we're in Maryland for this portion of the video, I have a 10-round magazine. Goes up in there pretty nice and easy. You rack it and you are ready to go. Mag release is back here. It is it's not very well designed in my opinion, but there you go. So you carry this with you, or you put it in the weapon. It has a fair amount of weight to it. It's a fairly light weapon. It's an 8-pound weapon, and you stick 10 rounds of double-aught buck inside a pretty large mag. You are changing the weight. But there it is. It's nice and easy, super short, super easy, very tactical weapon. I like it. So you don't consider enough rounds. I don't either. So you bring your bandolier, right? Always, always, always. When you're shy of ammo in the weapon, you bring your bandolier. So here's another 25 rounds right around you. I mean, if I use this thing, you just put it on, pick it up, 35 rounds. If you're in an attack situation where you need more than 35 rounds of double-aught buck with a short weapon, you've probably picked the wrong situation to get involved in. All right. Well, now that we are in the Wyoming section of the briefing, I can show you the 25 round. How about that? Is that a beast or what? Made specifically for this weapon. 25 rounds. Rack it and go. So you got to watch it though. You can hear that thing hitting the table. It extends the weapon's vertical reach quite a bit. But if you can get around it, that's 25 rounds of double-aught buck without reloading. And that is a lot of hallway clearing power. So there you go. So there's your 12-gauge bullpup. I really don't have anything else to tell you today. No scopes, no mods, just the light. That's really all I feel like that it needs. And there you go. That is our Flannel Freedom Friday for January 5th. Thanks, you guys. And I forgot to show you, as always, I have my go bag. So, but all it's got in it are 10 boxes, 25 rounds. So, what is that? That's 250, right? 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, that's 250 more shells in there. So, there's 10, there's 25, there's 25, and there's 250. So, that's about 300 rounds. If you got yourself in a situation where you can't deal with it with a tactical shotgun and 300 rounds, again, we need to revisit our decision-making process.